Hey guys, it's your girl Nurse 7D and I'm back with another update for you. So let me tell you just a little bit about what's been going on since I last uploaded a video. So I got a little something to tell you. Tomorrow will come and girl, I can't wait. It's my nurse anniversary. Yes, I have officially been a nurse for 1 year. So I actually passed NCLEX in August of 2020. But I didn't start working until October of 2020. So now I have technically been like practicing, clinically hands-on a nurse for 1 year, and I'm so excited. So what can I tell you? The first year is tough. It's an adjustment period. You're trying to find your way. You're coming out of school. Schooling prepares you for the NCLEX. It doesn't really teach you how to be a nurse. So you learn everything you need to learn. That first year, you get your habits. You find what's working for you and what's not working for you. I spent my first year in the ICU. I went from a small ICU to a very large, super busy ICU, and I still really love it. But it was some adjustments, like lots of adjustments. I work night shift, so just getting in the groove of working 3 nights and then try not to sleep for the rest of the whole week. It's just a lot of adjustment periods. You learn new people, you learn new systems, you learn new meds, you learn new treatment modalities, you learn how to do everything. This first year is super, super, super jam-packed with just learning curves, learning your new life, learning your new everything, essentially. So there's that. As far as being a night shift nurse, I had to learn, or I am still learning, like boundaries for not just giving everything I have to give to my patients when I'm at work, but then coming home and crashing and just being a bum for the next 2 or 3 days. I am trying to learn how to find some self-care and invest in myself and go to the gym and, have a day to do something that is refreshing and recharging for me. Like I said, I work in the ICU, primarily the COVID part of the ICU. So those patients are draining. It's emotionally draining. It's physically draining. Our patients only have visitation for like 30 minutes a day. So it's like you are that person's family, their advocate, their everything. So you can't pour from an empty cup. So it's very important to recharge on your days off, do something fun, hang out with your family, love on your children, whatever thing that you do to recharge or, replenish, pray, do some meditation, all of the things, anything that you need to build yourself up and can keep this vessel and cup full so that you can take the best care of your patients. You first, then your patients. As nurses, we always are looking out for other people, but I'm learning that I cannot take care of my patients, my family, anyone else if I haven't taken care of myself. It sounds a little selfish, but when you think about it, it makes perfect sense. Also, I have a little bit of a celebration. I set a goal for myself when I was first starting nursing. I had a lot of lofty goals, let me tell you. But one of them that I really wanted to achieve was to get my CCRN certification. And I successfully did that a few weeks ago. So I am now officially Devin Ellis, BSN, RN, CCRN, and I'm so excited. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about how I studied and was able to be successful on that certification, because it is hard, honey. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, it's pretty tough, especially being a new grad, not knowing a whole bunch of anything. Everything was new to me again, so I didn't know anything about anything in the ICU. So then trying to learn this experienced, material to achieve the certification was just almost mind-blowing for me. However, on the other side, now that I have the certification, I feel like my eyes are just open to so many things. Like, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. A couple of nights ago, we had a STEMI patient, and like immediately I was able to recognize what type of, MI it was, just based off of what I had learned. So I decided I was gonna take my certification within 1 month. So I studied for like 3.5 weeks solid. I went to work, I would study at work, I would come home, wake up, study that night. I have a 6-year-old with special needs, so after I would tend to her, I would study. I would be up all night because I don't tend to shift back and forth from day and night schedule that much. So if I was on a night where I was just up all night looking crazy, I would be studying. I studied hard, just like I studied hard for the NCLEX. That's how hard I hit it. So I want to share with you the materials that I used to study. So the first thing I used, which was probably like the thing that gave me the most success and knowledge, was the Laura Gasparis, the CCRN review online. It is a little pricey, however, those videos she really breaks it down and gives you like the core content of what you need to know for the exam. It is a little bit dated, however, I feel like without those videos, I don't know if I would have had the solid foundation being a new nurse without listening to those lectures. And it's about like 12 hours worth of content, but I would just like let those play while I was doing chores or while I was at work even. Like I would just have them playing in the background and just listening and taking notes when I could. You can always go back and there's little quizzes, there's question banks that come with it. So that was like my first thing, and I feel like that was the thing that was like the most beneficial to me. So after that, I also had this book here, the Barron's CCRN exam book, and it's just like it's kind of like an outline form. So it goes over all the content in like outline form, the important stuff, and then there's like some practice questions at the end of this section. I also bought this, which is like their flashcards, but it's like the Barron's book in flashcard form. So I was able to take this to work with me. I can't speak now. Take this to work with me and like just thumb through each section, because it's broken down by like content area. So like cardiac is a big section, respiratory is a big section, and then all the rest. So I would use these when I was in my job or at my daughter's appointments or riding in the car, anything where I could use a few minutes to study. I would use this after the Laura Gasparis videos though, to lay that foundation, okay? And then the final thing, when I was ready to just strictly stop learning and just practice, I got this Ace the CCRN You Can Do It book by Nicole Kupchik. And this book is just 3 full-length practice question books. 3 full-length practice questions. Full-length, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Full test-length practice questions. It's nothing but questions in here. There's no theory in here. It's all questions. But the questions in this book are like pretty rigorous. So I feel like some of the questions in here were a little bit harder than the questions on the exam. So the rationales are in here too to help you understand why the answer is the answer. So yeah, that's what I used to study. Now the exam. You have to have either a certain amount of hours in a 2-year period or a certain amount of hours in a 5-year period to qualify to set for the exam. Because I worked a lot of overtime my first year, I had the hours ready or already done within my first year. So you just go on to the AACN website, fill out your form. You do have to have someone to like verify that your timing and stuff is correct, and you just submit that information. They'll respond back to you with your like authorization to test, and then you just choose your test date. I was able to test at home, under a proctor because of COVID, which I actually appreciated. The exam is set up with 150 questions. 25 of them are like field questions and will not count towards your score, but the other 125 do. And so you need to get, I want to say like a 70% correct out of those 125 to pass and get the certification. So it is very doable if you put your mind to it and like dedicate some time to it. And I feel like on the other side of it, you are a better nurse. I am so overwhelmed with joy that I actually achieved this accomplishment, and I feel like it is making me a better nurse. I am a new nurse, but I am, I have the knowledge to understand and deduce and make a good, nursing judgment based off of the information that I have. So those are my updates for you on my first year of nursing. I have more things to tell you guys coming up in future videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.